Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Welcome to our team call. I'm really excited to have Elizabeth share tonight on something I think that, I'll be honest, like when Instagram stories first came out, I was like, I don't need these stories. And then I was like, well, maybe I'll do stories. And then I was like, what the heck am I doing? And so I think sometimes we get stuck with, I don't know, like how to do it well, but she really does a great job. If you don't follow her, watch her stories. They're super fun and there's a variety of them. And I've noticed over the past months how she's really developed a voice and how she shares in her stories, and it's really good. And I think if you're not doing it, stories are a fun way to connect with people differently than your feed, because sometimes when you post a main post, you're like, I got one shot to write a post and it needs to be good and the photo needs to be eye-catching and I gotta have a good, but with stories, it's like the rough draft is what they want. You know what I mean? And so she is going to, and if you don't do Instagram, Facebook has stories too. So whatever she's teaching tonight applies in both areas. I was trying to think if I had any announcements, but I can't think of anything that we have to announce this week as far as like business stuff. I did see in the online office, they're doing maintenance tomorrow after late evening in the online office. If you need to check things, make sure you check it in the morning. But you know, it's the middle of August. We still have plenty of month to work towards whatever goals you have set. And so I'm going to go ahead and hand it over and let you take over, girl.
Awesome. So I made a PowerPoint so you guys don't have to look at my pink face the whole time. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right, can you guys see that? Now I need to figure out how to start it. Let's see here. Anybody know?
I to tell you how to do anything on a PowerPoint.
From beginning.
Yeah, go to your slideshow. There you go.
Okay. Minimize myself. So I won't be able to see, oh, I guess I will be able to see chat things. I'm going to leave that for now though. Okay, so first of all, why to do stories? Your stories share your journey in your life with others. And it's really a glimpse of your day-to-day. It's not, like Kelly said, like it's not like as high pressure as your like posts that you would put on your feed. And it's to connect more casually with your audience. So, you know, I'll go over a lot of this stuff in the following slide. So, but basically let people see your quirks, imperfections, your confidence, your goofiness, your dance moves, if any of you watched my story today. So a reminder before we dive into this, especially for newer coaches, can you guys, if I do this, can you guys see the thing still? Or did you just see more faces pop up? I just want to make sure that it's not obstructed.
I just see it say reminder in your words. I don't see any photos except for you on the side, but it's not blocking anything.
You don't see like other people on the side?
No.
With me? Okay. Awesome. So this is your Instagram. What I do might not be what you do. It shouldn't be what you do because you are not me. Don't try to be someone else. It's good to use other people's, like watch other people's stories and, you know, get ideas of how they share, but don't try to like copy people like exactly how they do it. Because people are going to be able to tell that you're not being authentic. So, and it kind of takes a little bit of time to figure out how you want to post, which is fine. Like it'll take a little bit of time if you don't already post on Instagram or Facebook, like Kelly said. But just keep that in the back of your head while I'm going through this, because if I say things like, I post 10 to 20 stories every day, and you're new and you have never posted on your story before, don't freak out. We'll go over like setting your own range and stuff. And then the second thing is don't let other people's opinions dictate how you post. So if you, oh gosh, if you really love, you know, God, and you have followers that are like, why are you posting stuff about like your religion, blah, 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 just ignore them. I have never had people like straight up say that to me. I've had some allude to it, which I think is kind of rude, but just post how you feel comfortable. I'll just leave it at that for now. So stories, I didn't include this, the first part, how to add stories. So for those of you who already post on stories, this is gonna be like common sense for you guys. But to post on your story, you click either, can you, it's not working. Okay, so it's the little camera at the top left of your phone screen. Or you can just swipe over and it'll take you right to your stories like that. And then there's a ton of different things you can do on your stories. So you can just have words, you can have a boomerang, you can have like a bunch of pictures together, super zooms, which are like fun little video things that you can do, and then hands-free, which I find super helpful for like pretty much anything that's going to be a video. I use hands-free because that way I can take workout clips, I can take videos of myself talking to my audience without accidentally like lifting my finger off the button or, you know, being shaky with it. And then down here, there are different like filters and stuff that you can add, which I'll go over as well. And then up here, there are a lot of different things as well. So there's downloading your photo, adding links. I don't know what this guy is. I don't know if I've ever touched that one. This one is very important. Do you know,
like
Kelly?
the filter on your face, like the funny filters to give you like sunglasses or whatever, I think.
Can you do that after you've taken the picture though?
I think that's for like when you're talking.
Oh, okay. I think someone might have just answered it in the comments, but I can't see them right now. So, and then this one, the last three are the ones that I use the most frequently. So this has a lot of special options. This is like drawing with your finger on your phone. And then this, which is how I got those nice little highlights on the picture. And then this one is typing out words. So going back to, so I took a screenshot of this guy right here, which I use a lot in my stories. So when you hit that, this pops up and you can add your location, which is good if you're like, if you want people from your area to see your posts, then you can tag your location. I don't really do that very often, just because that's my personal preference, but it's there if you want to use it. You can mention people. So as an example, I typed in Angie Bradley. I did not post this picture, by the way. That I just wanted to show you guys how it popped, how everything popped up when you added it. You can add music where you just like type in a song. You can add GIFs, which that should say GIF right there, but I took a screenshot at the wrong time. You can add the time. Polls, I use polls a lot. You can use this questions button. And I use the questions button for like recommendations for things, for advice, not necessarily as like ask me a question, but you definitely can do that as well. This slidey thing, I really like to use. So there's just a bunch of different options. I'm just gonna check the chat real quick.
Can I say something? Because I like to talk.
Yeah, of course.
So, and I put it in the chat. I use the location about half the time. I don't do it all the time. I do it probably once in my story every day, so that anybody who searches on the location, if you search, because I can search on location in my area, so I'll see like all the local restaurants and I'll see that sort of stuff. And then anybody who searches on a location will my stuff will come up in that story or in that page, just like you use a hashtag. Does that make sense? So like I'm in Granger, Indiana. So if I put in Granger, Indiana, it comes up in the story or the the page for Granger. So it's just one more way for people to find you.
And then let me see. So there are a couple people saying that they don't have Instagram yet. Again, Kelly said that this works pretty much the exact same for Facebook. So if you're not on Instagram right now, that's totally fine as well to just use Facebook. Yeah, okay. So a huge thing that I learned, so a lot of this stuff that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight is something that I learned from one of the 15 Star Diamond calls that I was on a couple months ago. I forget who it was with. I don't remember. But anyway, she, a lot of this stuff is stuff that I learned from her. She really emphasized being consistent, and you decide how much you want to post. So again, like I said, I shoot for like 10 to 20, usually closer to like 15 or 20 story posts every day. When I was like Kelly, I did not want to do stories when I first learned about them, and I avoided them for a long time because I thought that it was going to be too much work. But once I started doing them, I shot to do like I don't know, like around 3 a day for a couple months. Like I just posted like a sweaty selfie, a picture of a meal, and then like a selfie with me and my daughter. That's really all it was when I first started doing stories. But as I've grown in confidence as a coach and as I've practiced posting on stories, I've gotten myself into like a sweet spot of that, like around 15 stories every day. And with consistency, your audience is watching to see if this is just a phase or if you're committed to it for the long haul. People don't want to work with health and wellness coaches that aren't working on their health and wellness, which is something that the person who I learned this stuff from, that's something that she said. And I was like, oh, wow, that's super true. Like if I'm going to expect my customers to be working out, every day or however much their workout plan calls for, then I need to be showing up as much as my workout plan calls for and show them really what it's like. Like I'm not spending hours and hours at the gym. I'm spending a half hour, 5 or 6 days a week, getting in a workout. And then let's see. And that goes the same with like the nutrition programs. You need to be like, I would recommend sharing at least one meal every day and showing people how you're, making nutrition simple to fit into your busy life. Because I mean, all of us are busy. Everybody has an excuse to be busy. And then remember that building trust takes time and perseverance. So don't expect that, your first week of posting every day on your stories, you're going to have all these people come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, wow, you're a health and fitness coach. Let me work with you. I always remind people when I lead these kinds of calls, I share that I followed Kelly for about 2 years, never liked or commented on any single post that she ever did. And then when she posted about a country heat test group, I sent her a message and I was all in because I had seen her consistency. And even though it wasn't with stories, because that wasn't a thing yet, I needed to make sure that she wasn't just doing another fad thing that a couple other people I knew were doing, but she really she emphasized that she was in it for the long haul. And then your fonts and filters. This goes with consistency. You want people to recognize your story. So I use the same 3 fonts in my stories every single day. When I'm posting my workout, I use a specific font to share what week and what day I'm on for my workout. And then I'll use the same font every day for descriptions under my videos of my workouts and stuff like that. And in between filters right now. I'm trying to figure out which one I like the best, but you want people to predict what you're going to do, because that shows your consistency. If they can guess what you're posting about, then it shows that you're consistent and that you're reliable. And that's what people want in a health and fitness coach. So how to show up. Video. This is the one that I avoided for the longest, and it's the one I'm going to talk about first, because it's so important for people to really see you and to hear you and to see your mannerisms and to see your imperfections and let them hear your voice. And let's see. Yeah, so practice makes progress. I'm never going to be perfect at public speaking. It's just not my thing. I can pretend like I have it somewhat together, but I am not a huge fan of it. But every single time that I do it, I'm less flustered and I turn a lesser shade of red, except right now I am very red because of my stupid computer, but it's fine. And then adding value. So you can add value either through video, through pictures, through polls. You just want to make sure that you're offering something to people when your story pops up as they're going through stories. So sharing a recipe or sharing, you know, how when you woke up this morning, you weren't motivated to get your workout done, but your habits helped you get it in anyway. You know, stuff like that. Or, you know, even parenting things like what products are you using right now that you really love, that you think would be helpful for other people? So those are all just some examples of how to add value. My screen is blocked by people's faces for a sec, hold on. Make your health and wellness journey to the people you want to work with. Oh, relatable to the people you want to work with. There you go. So if your niche, is that how you pronounce it? Niche market is moms with babies, then work out with your baby from either every day or from time to time. Show them that, you know, they do have time to spend on themselves. They can wake up early, even if they are dead set on the fact that they are not a morning person like I was for so long. Show them what's possible. That's your goal, is to show them what's possible and to inspire hope and freedom, basically the mantra of this team. We want to share that with them. And then include interactive aspects as well. And here are interactive aspects over here. So you can do polls. So I say not necessarily coaching specific or related, because some of the most popular polls that I have are like when I'm roasting a marshmallow over the campfire and I say, how do you like your marshmallows roasted, brown or burnt? And so many people will answer those polls. Like they love to share their opinions on how they like things. And then again, look at questions, looking for advice on things, recommendations for books or podcasts or music. And then the slidey thing. I've been using the slidey thing a lot recently for if people are interested in like getting more information about like a challenge group or a free group or something, just because there are less bots that do the slidey thing versus doing my polls. So, and then also, you know, if you post a really cute picture of like your kid or your dog, put the little heart eye smiley thing, and then people can interact with it. And I'm sure that boosts you on the Instagram algorithm, which I have absolutely no idea about. So when we get to the questions portion, don't ask me about algorithms. And then coaching specific, again, we want to show people, hi sweetie. I'll put you to minute just in a couple minutes, okay? Mommy's leaving a call. If you be really quiet. Okay. Okay, yeah, go potty. Okay. Gotcha. Sorry. So you want to make sure that you're sharing about things that make us coaches. So our Shakeology, I've been sharing Shakeology daily now because people don't see the value in it. And I didn't see the value in it for a long time. So I make sure that every single morning with my breakfast, I have a picture of my Shakeology, even if I'm not saying specifically like, this is my Shakeology. It's really delicious. It's full of vitamins and minerals. I just like will put it in the background of my oatmeal that I have pretty much every day. And then let's see, nutrition, again, sharing like a meal or sharing like the containers. That helps people to, you know, see what you're doing. Workouts, again, pictures, sweaty selfies, or, you know, video clips of your workouts. Zoom call pictures. So like when we have team calls like this, or like a group workout that we do on Zoom, sharing that on your picture, on your stories, tagging other coaches. So that way we can, you know, some of us don't remember to take pictures all the time. So tagging other coaches will help everybody to add them to their stories, and it'll show people the community that we're building here, because it is really special and we have a lot of awesome coaches. And then sharing how coaching blesses your life. So financially, with your friendships, with I had one other thing, but I don't remember. So lots of blessings with coaching. And then, so my story specifically, I wanted to give you guys like concrete examples of like what I do, just to give you an idea. Again, that it's not gonna look exactly the same for you because you're not me. But every single day, I usually start off my story with Energize, with a selfie of me in a mirror holding Energize, either cheersing it or drinking it. So people know what to expect when they click on my story every day. I would, thank you. And then that's followed by workout clips, and then prayer and personal development takeaways. And that sometimes that's like further down depending on when I fit it in during my day. I always share my breakfast in Shakeology. I always share my daughter, at least one picture or video of my daughters just being silly, because people really like that. I share recipes, not daily, but I always share like at least one meal. And then inspirational or funny Instagram posts that I see either on other people's stories or just if I'm scrolling my feed and I see something, then I'll share it to my stories in hopes that it would inspire other people as well. And then weekly, I weave in call to actions for free groups, challenge groups, coaching, in theory. I haven't been super great with that part recently, but groceries on a budget, I always share every Friday. I always take a picture of my grocery receipt, so people can, again, see my consistency with, like, you know, if I'm spending $50 one week, but I'm spending $150 next week, then clearly something's going on with my budget. But since I share it every single week, they can see the consistency with that and can see that I'm actually like using tips or I have tips and stuff that I can share with them. And then sharing date night things every week. Not right now because I'm not home with my husband, but anyway. French Toast Friday, I used to do. Shh, Mommy's talking right now, okay? That's awesome. Do you want to hang out with Grandma while I finish this? Thank you. So French Toast Friday, I used to do every Friday. And then she's downstairs. I'll come get you when I'm all done, okay? Okay. And then, so that was when I was doing To Be Mindset. And then when I switched to, thank you. And then when I switched back to Ultimate Portion Fix, I didn't want to use 2 of my 3 carbs on French toast every Friday. So that's why I have Rest in Peace, because it's gone now. And then I always share my Monday laundry woes of just a huge pile of laundry on my bed, just waiting to be folded. And then, so here's what my stories look like. So this is just a screenshot of all my stories from July 28th, because that was when the normalcy was still kind of in my life, which it's not right now. But here I have my Energize, I have my workout clips. I usually do like, I'm checking off my box on my workout calendar just to show people, you know, my progress. My child being goofy. PD and prayer takeaways right there, more goofy children. And then a meal that I had. This was lettuce that I had picked from my garden, which I usually share a lot about as well when I'm home. And then something funny I found on Instagram, more prayer stuff. And then I have a recipe here for Instant Pot brown rice. And then I had just a boomerang of like the chicken thighs that I made in my air fryer. Another coach tagged me in something, so I shared it on my story. And then I wanted to share, and then this was me just talking to my audience and telling them how like my day looked perfect, but it wasn't. So yeah, so that's just an example of how I use stories. And that is all. Are there any questions? I'm going to check the chat now to see. Actually, I'm going to stop sharing first, and then we can check questions.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing this, because I'm new to Instagram. So when you are doing your workout clips, how do you set up your phone? Like, so you put your, like, do you have a tripod, or you do?
Yeah. You remember the tripod I had?
Yeah.
So I bought that tripod for like $15 on Amazon like 2 years ago. My children both use it, like both play with it as a microphone. And it is indestructible, I'm certain. But I just set it up on my tripod, and then again, click on the hands-free option, and then just walk away, do my stuff. And then I usually save the videos, and then I don't post them until after I finish my workout. So that way I don't have to like pause my workout to do my Instagram post. That's where that little save button comes in handy.
And then you just edit, like you just cut it or shorten it to post, so it doesn't.
Yeah, so like when you take a hands-free video, it'll chunk it into 4 15-second clips. And then I usually just, you know, whichever clip I like the best, I click on that clip, and then I hit the save button at the top, which is just like the little arrow and then the line underneath it. So then when I go back through my phone, I have a ton of different videos to choose from, and then I can just pick like 3 or 4 of them to add into my story.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I put in the chat there, it says, sometimes I see people with long videos, like it looks like they're hands-free, but it doesn't seem like it's stopping. Like it's just extending, and it's not like those 15-second, video clips. So I'm wondering, do you know how people do that?
They might be going live. So I'll show you right here for a second. So down at the bottom, it says story, and then it also says live. So you can go live. So that's, it'll just keep on recording you until you stop it. So it's not like the chunked 15-second videos. It's just however long you're recording yourself. And then those just go onto your story too.
Okay. I was just trying to think. I didn't know if she was going live or not. And so I was just trying to figure out how it was so nice and fluid, without it being choppy.
And then too, I have another question. So on Instagram, like if Kelly say tags me, but it gives me the option to say add to my story. So unless I hit that option, what does the tagging do for me?
It does. So it just tells you, so it gives you the option to add it to your story. That's all tagging does. So if you just add it to your story, then it just stays on Kelly's story,
Okay.
If someone tags you on a post in Instagram, that goes into a different place and people can see that.
Yeah.
But if it's to the story, no one can see it unless you share it.
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask about Reels. Yeah, Megan Kaufman would be the person to ask about Reels because she rocks them. And I think they're like TikTok and I don't understand how to do them.
Kayla Ibanez, I haven't listened to it, but she released a podcast on Reels like 2 days ago too. So I don't understand them either. One thing I was going to share that they just changed is when you go live on Instagram stories, instead of a story and you do a live, it gives you an option to upload it as an IGTV and that will post on your feed. That's like new. You can either save it to your phone or you can upload it as an IGTV. And so something that Kayla taught in this thing I just finished doing with her was that it's good if you want to go live a couple times a week because it pushes you to the front for longer. Because every time you post, your little circle goes to the front of people who follow you, so you're more likely to get seen, which is why it's cool to do it throughout the day instead of like just once or twice. But the IGTV thing is neat, and I can show you guys on a video, but you can actually make on Canva a cover for your IGTV that you save on your phone so that every time you do one, you could even type the title, and that way when it's on your feed, it looks neat, but it's like a double thing because then they see it on your story and then they, like connects the two. But that's just something I just realized because if you go live on your stories, you can save it on your phone and then you can put that on your Facebook page. So that way you can double purpose it, if that makes sense. Like it won't be live on Facebook, but you can upload it. So. And it's always weird to go live. So if you feel weird about it, you're not the only one.
What about when people will put like on their story, the image will say like tap here and it links it to something? Do you know how to do that? Or new post and then it takes you to the post?
Oh, so like, okay, so when you share, so if you have a post, then there's like a little, that's a weird picture. I'll just go, or here's Elise, there you go. So there's a little arrow at the bottom of Instagram posts.
Okay.
You can hit that arrow, whoops. You can hit, oh gosh, add to story. And then, so that's showing me the draft of it on my story right now.
Okay.
So then if I add at the bottom, then people who see that slide can tap on that post and it'll take them directly to that post. So like whenever I do like a normal just post on my feed, I usually add it to my story. So that way people will see it. Because usually people are either like in the stories, looking at the stories, or they're in the feed.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, some people do both. But that way that everyone will get the chance to see your post. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I think I was doing it the opposite way. I was doing the story first and putting the tap here, like the little sticker tap here, or the little sticker that says new post on it, and then going and posting it versus the other way.
Yeah, so yeah, you need to have the post first.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does sorry, does all of this apply to Facebook too? If you're thinking about Facebook stories, like everything you're saying would still be true.
Yeah. Either formatted. Mine's linked up on my Instagram to my Facebook. But so I'm on Facebook now. I wish I could share my screen like this, but so if I'm actually, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up on Facebook real quick. If I can't, then it'll be a short little explanation.
I know how to do stories on Facebook. I was just curious if it's the same, that like stories have to be, they're going to be the more casual thing, and you should be a little bit more like
Yeah. So
thrown out if you're running a real post.
right, the content you would put on your Instagram stories is going to be the same thing that you would put on your Facebook stories. And that's how I do my Instagram like feed post as well. Like I just have it linked up to my Facebook, so I don't have to like repost it into Facebook. It's all just kind of the same. It's just is more visible to more people because different people are on different platforms.
Mm-hmm. I just never really look at people's Facebook stories. I only really look at posts. So I don't know if it's just like the structure is different, but I never like Angie, obviously I see you on Facebook, but I hardly ever look at your stories. I just see the posts. And it's just like, it's just because
I spend all this time doing my story and you don't watch every single one and read everything I post. Are you kidding?
I'm just saying.
I just worked on my story during this call.
How dare you?
You have to go watch it now.
It doesn't suggest it to me in the way that like.
I think the thing about Becky is that people have a preference. Some people just do stories like on Facebook too. So the one thing I've learned is that I don't remember to do them on Facebook as much. And I need to, because I could have 120 people see my Facebook stories one day that are not the same people who are on my feed. So it's like a great way to touch a different audience, you know what I mean? And then you can see who's viewing them, and that way people who are consistently viewing them, it's just a touch point where you can reach out and say, how are you? It's not, and connect with people that way. But yeah, you can link the two together. I have a business page on Facebook. That's why it's weird. And you all, no one here needs one. So don't ask, do anyone? No, you don't. But back in the day you did. And so for me, it's one extra step, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, this was so good, Elizabeth. I feel like we've never had a training like this where it was like the breakdown of how to do it. It's always been how to know what to talk about, but the specifics was so good to show the different features. Like I really appreciate you taking the time to really break it down, because it's like, yeah, like I wouldn't have thought to do that. So that was really good. Like, thank you. Because I think this is something, as you guys have coaches that join and they are like, I don't know anything about Instagram, reference this. I got a call for you. You know what I mean? And they can learn.
And I do stories every day, but I've never used Instagram's live feature. I videotape it and then I use Cut Story, and that splices it into 15-second segments for me. So I've never used the live version.
Yeah.
On Instagram stories, because it just was like, okay, I don't have time to figure that out. I'm not doing that. And so I don't get to use the fun filters with the eyelashes and stuff like you guys do.
The thing that I think is different about the live feature though is that like I prefer the 15-second chunks, because I can add like thought-provoking captions into my slides. So like if I put like a caption that says like, does your kid do this too? Then people are going to turn on their sound and actually listen to what I'm saying, versus like if I just do one long live video, then, I could be talking for the same amount of time, but people might not give it the time, versus doing the 15-second chunks where I can keep getting more intense with my caption to, kind of entice them to turn on their sound and listen to what I'm saying.
And that's what I do with Cut Story, but I don't do it with Instagram's features. I just do it I make a video in my phone and then I use Cut Story and then it chunks it for me and I don't have to do it. And It's kind of the same thing, but I've never used Instagram's features to do it. So I don't get the cool filters.
It does the same thing as Cut Story, except Cut Story lets you have more slides. Like I can only have a minute of slides versus Cut Story, which will give you like unlimited.
Yeah, right. And then I can just upload, and then I can pick each one, and I can pick 15 at a time, and it'll let me do as many as I want.
Yeah.
So did the 15-star coach that you listened to, did they have a recommendation of how many stories to post during every day?
I think, what did she say?
I mean, Melanie Mitro's thing is make it dashes, not dots. So
Yeah.
that when you look at the thing across the top, it's not like dots, it's dashes, but I don't know what.
I know the coach, I know she did at least 20 stories every day. Because I mean, I followed her for like a week just to see how she did her stories and how consistent she was with her stuff. And I think that she did about 20. And honestly, like if you're just doing pictures, I don't think you need as many, but if you're doing video and you're like talking to people, you're going to naturally have more slides, just because you're adding value with like not just like putting a bunch of words on a slide, but you're talking to people. So I mean, I don't ever stress about how many dots or dashes I have, because I know that I find value in what I post, because these are things that have helped me in the past when I learned them. So I figured that someone else is going to find value in them too. And if they're interested in watching my story, then they'll watch it. If they're not, then they'll just swipe right past it. And either way, doesn't really matter to me. But there was another thing I was going to say. Oh, also with stories, something that I had to learn the hard way is when you're like on vacation or, you know, super, super busy with life, don't stress yourself out about hitting your quota of story posts, because that's a time to cherish with your family and to unplug and to honor the people that you're around. So don't try to like force posts just to have posts up. Like, I mean, there were some days on vacation that I didn't post anything, and no one called me out on it. No one said like, hey, I've been watching your stories for a while, you didn't post that day, except for maybe Angie Bradley. But you know, they're gonna be there the Monday you get back from vacation. So don't feel like you have to like stress yourself out to get your posts in.
I'm glad you said that too, because I think that it shows you have boundaries on your work and your business. Like when I traveled last weekend to New Orleans, I posted very little. I didn't post much at all. And like when I got back, I said, hey, I know I've been kind of checked out because I was spending time with a friend. And I think it shows people that we're not glued to our phone, because we shouldn't be. And so I'm glad you pointed that out, because it is. The world does not fall apart if you don't post on your stories one day. It's good. That doesn't hurt that makes you consistent with your vision versus consistent. You know what I mean? Like, I like that you pointed that out. So thank you.
But you may get messages for people like me who are like, you show your workout and your everything every day and you haven't worked out now for 3 days. Are you okay? And it shows that if you're consistent enough, people expect it. So like, if I want to know if someone's worked out, or if I need to message them and see if they want to work out with me, I can look at most of you guys' stories and I can look and go, oh, they haven't worked out yet because they haven't shared it in their story. So I can invite them to work out with me, because I know how consistent most of us are with sharing stuff. You know, I consistently don't share my workout until 10 p.m. the same night that I work out, because that's when I finally get around to it. But that's just how it is.
That's really good.
You're consistent. You always do, like you.
I'm
always,
consistently late. Yes.
and that counts as consistency.
I'm consistently realistic about what I can handle in my life. That's right. And so, but other people, like I know Elizabeth by 7 a.m. will have had her energized and posted a picture of her going every day, or she hasn't worked out yet.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. This is awesome. Awesome stuff. Can you close us in prayer?
Absolutely. Heavenly Father, we love you, we praise you, we thank you. Thank you for this community. Thank you for the time that you have given us to dig in with each other, to learn some new things, to learn how to align the tools that you have given us through Instagram and Facebook stories to further your kingdom. And we pray that you would bless every single person who watches our stories, that they would find value in it, that they would see your love through us. And we ask that we would be bold, that you would give us the grace to be bold in sharing our stories and in loving people and in serving people well. We ask this all in your holy name. Amen.
Before we hop off, we're going to take a picture so you can post it on your stories, because we sometimes forget to do this. So get out your phones, or I'll take one. The lighting's not great here. Hang on. I'm on the porch. Everybody looks like, well, I am sitting in the dark. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. All right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here tonight. Elizabeth, amazing job, girl. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.